Hello and welcome everybody. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what is that big square? No, those are just solar panels. Yeah. So, I figured I'd show you guys my space station. This is orbiting Kerbin. It doesn't really have that high of an orbit. And I just kind of, whatever. I just kind of pieced this thing together slowly. And trust me, learning how to dock after doing this, I'm like a master at docking. I don't want to say I'm the best, but everyone has their own ways of doing it. Yeah, that's what she said. Everyone has their own ways of doing everything in the game, and my way of docking. When I do show you guys docking, it might not be the most effective or fast way, but it works for me, and it's always worked for me. I haven't had. Once I got it down, it worked perfectly. But yeah, orbiting and docking is just like, I mean, I would say more of docking is just a pain, and it's like, once you learn it though, it really isn't that bad. So let's see, I think I have all the lights on this thing. It doesn't look like it for some reason. There we go. I don't know if that changed anything. I mean, it still looks dark on the center here. I don't know. So this is like multiple pieces. Basically from here to here was like the. Actually, no. From here to here was like the first piece. I think this is connected. Yeah, this was the first major piece to it, and after that I wanted more. I decided to bring up the power, and from here all the way to here is basically one piece, the whole platform for the solar panels. That was pretty insane. I mean, the whole thing itself really wasn't too hard to get to space, but whatever. After that, I decided I needed an extension because it just wasn't big enough from here to there. So I went and got another piece here, and you can see there's like fuel tanks and stuff. I brought up a lot of fuel up here. So I added from here all the way to right here. Yeah, so that one big piece, it was like the core extension, and you can see I still don't have these two full, whatever. I plan on maybe putting more fuel up here. I don't really know what I want to do with this. As you can see, there's Bill and Jebidiah, and I think Bob is in there somewhere. I got this whole thing just packed full of guys, and that's what she said. Yeah, Bob is right here. I got, this one's full. This one's full. This one. I think this one's full too. Yeah. There's so many of them up here. Yeah, I finally, oh nope. He's in there all by himself. He's been in there for a while by himself. He's probably crazy by now. Yeah, so there's I think one of my problems with it is I put a lot of SAS modules on it, and a lot of them are covered up by the RCS tanks. I brought up a lot of small RCS tanks. I didn't really want to bring up one large one. I mean, there's a lot of body that's being, it makes no sense to have something like this, and you can attach a bunch of tanks to it. What's the point of just leaving it empty like that? It just, put stuff all together. I mean, make it as compact and robust as possible. I mean, this is, I don't even know, I think it's like 8 or 9 pieces altogether. But anyways, after I added this main piece, I decided that I needed docking on it. That was one of the major things. I needed docking ports. You gotta have some place to park when you refill your ship. Nobody's in there. Thank God. Yeah, so there's 3 of them here. It's not I mean, I try to keep the spacing a little bit further away. It's not bad. This thing has a little tilt to it too. But yeah, then I brought up these fuel tanks. None of the fuel's really been used out of any of them. And I brought up one, and then the second one, or actually, yeah, no, never mind. I was gonna say I brought something else with it, but no, I brought up these two fuel tanks separately, and then I brought up the escape pod, if you want to call it that. And you know, there's just enough fuel to get, you know, to burn to land, but you know, this thing's kind of like the Titanic right now. Like, there's I think 14 or 15 Kerbals here, but there's only one escape pod. So if this thing's gonna explode, Bill, Jebidiah, and Bob definitely have, you know, seats, but everyone else, sorry. We liked you at one point. So yeah, I put the escape pod on, and while I put the escape pod on, I actually threw this little piece on too, just to, you know, up the space inside the space station, just because at that point I basically had all these modules full of Kerbins. So you know, these guys, I'm thinking, are gonna be moving to the moon. They're gonna be on the way to the moon. I'll go and dock up here, you know, I'll have one of these modules, I'll just throw 4 of them in there and land it on the moon, and then come back and pick up another 3 or 4 of them, whatever, just land them all on the moon. So anyways, yeah, so I have problems with this thing shaking, and, you know, I kind of added a little features, and, you know, I don't really think they're ever going to really do anything with these satellite dishes and stuff like that, but, you know, I just figure it makes it look a little cooler. You know, it makes it look more official. If you guys see any problems with this thing, let me know. Other than the stuff I kind of just covered, which, you know, like, yes, there's like a bazillion freaking RCS tanks, and I know it's easier if you just put one, because to transfer fuel, it's easier, but I don't really care too much about that. It's not a big deal to me. The way I see it is I got all this fuel up here, and, you know, to transfer from one to the other, just hold Alt. Yeah, Alt and click. Yeah, like, I don't really care that much. It's not a big deal. I know it's only 40 in there, but I hope in later expansions they figure out a way where you can, like, group these or something, to where, you know, if you click multiple times, you can just group like a whole section of them with another section, and then you can just like mass transit all the fuel instead of, you know, having to individually click each one. I didn't put any lights on this part of it, and when I first sent my main piece out, I didn't really think about that, so that's why it's kind of dark in the middle, but on the on the outside edges of everything, it's all lit up. But there's a lot of lights on this thing. I mean, there's lights on each one of these docking ports here for when you pull up. Everything else, it's a really nice station. It's probably one of my best I built. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not gonna be mad if you critique it. Please tell me as much as you can, and if I know more information about this game, maybe I'll trash the station, make a brand new one. I'll put it all on video for you guys, and you know, if there's like little minor problems with certain things, like, tell me something I don't know about this game. I love hearing anything about this game. It's just an amazing freaking game. I'm just like happy I even built this thing. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I don't really like showing off my creations to everybody, like, oh, look at my giant space station, I'm gonna rub it in your face because mine's so much cooler than yours, ha ha ha. Like, yeah, I just don't like doing that, but I figured I'd show it to you guys. So, and not to mention, I forgot who it was, I think it's Pulse in the comments. You know, he asked for it, so I'll show it. If you guys want to see something, I'm more than happy to show you guys. So, don't be afraid to ask me, you know, hey, what do I need to do to land on the moon? That will be in the tutorials eventually, but I don't have a problem with you guys asking me questions. So once again, thank you for watching, and more to come.